Alright, so we are back with another update here. I think we had this, and then or one of the optimizations, which is basically a hotfix. It's basically a subversion of what's already a subversion. Um, I don't know if any of this is going to affect the campaign. I mean, it's happening in a live thing, so I assume they're not uh, encouraging too heavily uh, the restarting of campaigns, which I'm not going to care about anyway because we haven't even done anything. So something needs to happen for me to actually care about it. So we still have not had a battle. I'm still trying um, to get a battle, but you kind of need a war for that. And so I think we were closest to pissing off Spain. Let me see. France, yeah, definitely Spain. So I guess we'll just continue trying to antagonize the Spanish. I can't increase tensions, so which is the other reason why I don't really like that mechanic, because not only does is that mechanic super wimpy, but you can't even use that mechanic half the time. Why the hell am I losing that much money? What did I do? Oh, that's because I'm building a bunch of ships, isn't it? Because that'd do it. Yeah, yeah, and all of this. So I'm not going to worry about that much. It's only going to be for a couple turns anyway, and I've got such a buffer here. It's not going to matter. I'd rather just get it done, you know, because if you pause the ships and everything, not only are they do you have less time with them actually doing anything, but I don't remember what my displacement is there, so that's why I'm saying no to that. Yeah, I don't have the spare room for that anyway. Anyway, not only are you, you know, decreasing the amount of time that your ships are relevant, but you're still paying for them to sit there. So it's more of a big deal in Rule of Waves, where I've seen playthroughs where people build too many ships and then they end up bankrupt because or perpetually unable to build a big fleet because half of the fleet that they're building is stopped, but they're still paying for them. You're not paying as much, but you're still paying for them. It would have, rather than order 8 ships and then only build 2 at a time, just order 2, and then when they're done, build 2 more, because you're going to get it done faster that way anyway, and it's going to cost you less money, and then you'll be able to build better ships, or eventually build more of them, either way you look at it. So, yeah. And our economy is still improving anyway. I mean, this can go up to 200% before that stops. So, um, I mean, we'll have the ships done before it gets to that point, but that is another factor there. Can I piss off the Spanish again on this turn? What is this? I don't really care. Um, eh. I mean, more naval prestige is always good, but my unrest is super low, so I don't need to reduce that. I might as well just take the extra money, honestly. Um, I don't really care what the opinion of the Germans is. No, I can't. I can build you some torpedo boats. Um, oh my god. Okay. If I go here, yeah, I mean, I'm not really at risk of war with the Germans. I mean, you can swing either way about 50 points before you really have to start caring, because it's random events anyway at that point. Now, at some point, I feel like what the game does is when relations degrade to a certain point, I think it starts increasing the number of events to get the tensions going. So it kind of has a snowball effect, but you have to get to a certain threshold first. So, for example, I think Spain has just crossed that threshold with the US here, where it's going to start giving them more events to encourage that to degrade. Now, I don't know if it goes the other way around. Like, I don't know if Italy and Austria are going to have an alliance here. I don't know if it does that, but I feel like it almost certainly tries to pull negative relations down after they get to about -50 or so. I have no evidence for this, but that's kind of what I feel. So, do we have anything upcoming here that I need that I can or should care at all about? Probably not. Yeah. I'll just leave. I'll just do that. No, no specialization because, like I've said in previous episodes, this gets you your tech done faster. I, you can't if you really want something like where, for example, I really wanted new battleship hulls. I really wanted bigger cruisers. You can push for it in that case, but if you don't care, if you're not going for anything in particular, don't put specializations down for no reason because it does cripple you eventually if you do it too much. Um, so I do want to get these replaced at some point, but I don't need to get them replaced right now, and I'd rather wait to have, you know, better guns, better explosives, better shells, everything like that, because it's just, I mean, early on, I mean, you're not really doing a whole lot. It's once you get the better tech that cruisers can start becoming like junior capital ships. I mean, at this point in the game, I'm just trying to get a war. I don't need ships if I don't have a war. Oh, didn't even know there were elections coming up. Sure, Argentina. See, there we go. Okay, yeah, see? Um, once you get to a certain point, the odds of you increasing the tensions are better. But before a certain point, like for example, if I tried to antagonize the British, it probably wouldn't do anything. Not that I want to do that. I mean, I do want to have some allies here. I know some people play the game, they just Leroy Jenkins it, and they're just like, who needs friends or whatever. But, um, I mean, I don't know. It's just not as fun to play for me that way. So, yes. Okay, so see, like, destroyers, I might do that. But, I mean, look, I'm taking 4 months off of this, but we've just added 2 months to this, added 2 months to this. That is one specialization, and we've just drastically slowed down everything else that we're researching. So you really don't want to do that until it actually matters. I mean, what I tend to do is honestly, I would just wait until like next turn, for example, specialize just for the one turn, just to get it done, and then I'm back to no specialization. I'll do stuff like that, but I mean, there's just not there's not a good reason to leave specializations on all the time. But I see people do that constantly because it's something you look at it and you go like, oh look, free priorities, and the way that the game tells it to you is that. I mean, yeah, you can hover over this and it does tell you that it slows stuff down, but I don't think people actually take the time to realize just how much slower it makes everything else. Because I did used to play that way where I would just use all of my three specializations all the time, and you seriously, I mean, you won't end up behind because the AI doesn't just, they don't slam their tech budget all the way like this. I mean, they probably do, but not as much as the player does, because the player intuitively knows that if you have your tech here, then you're just barely keeping up. I mean, the game is balanced as if everybody's going to keep their tech budget there. So if you do that, you end up way ahead, which is just a more fun way to play for me because you make higher quality ships. They do cost more, but then you aren't having to command 100 ships every single battle. Okay, I do want to put these on certain ports. I want, yeah, we'll do that. And then, yeah, I would, okay, yeah. So I don't necessarily care where everything else goes, which why I'm not, that concerned. But before, when I built, you know, before they were just throwing those ships everywhere, and it was silly. So we're gonna try not to do that. But here, I'm gonna have two modern battleships right here, and then I don't remember if I threw it in Marseille or not. I think I did Marseille, yeah. And then I'll have another battleship here because I don't have a battleship here. I have one. Oh, actually, oh, I don't have battleships over there. Huh. Okay. Well, so I definitely need battleships over here. Yeah, I won't bother building more of those because I'll end up having better ones in just a couple of years anyway. So I won't need those because they'll just be outdated. I do have the buffer here, but I want to actually keep the buffer and not just use it because I have it. Allegedly the economy is punishing now, so that remains to be seen. But because to me the economy doesn't feel that punishing. Um, I mean, before you basically didn't even have to think about the economy. Beyond the very first years of the game, it just there's a certain point where you just suddenly everything became free. And so I did allow that because I do have the excess shipbuilding capacity because I just finished a bunch of stuff. So um, don't have a problem building them a little thing. I'm gonna actually just do the. Why would you put commissioning down there? Okay. Let me just do that. So that'd be interesting if I end up friends with Argentina. I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but I don't know how much that actually helped me. Oh, actually, I am friends with Argentina. Well, yeah, okay, so I'm friends with Argentina, Sweden. Do you just get a minor alliance anytime you sell a ship at all? That seems too easy. Watch this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I should only have to do this about 3 more times, assuming no other special events sway it either way. I wish you could just do it every turn, though. I mean, I guess it's more realistic to pace yourself, but I don't know. Rather than having to click the button, I feel like it just makes more sense to make it a agitate for war. You know, you do it, and it's a constant mission. Maybe with a little maybe a little like activity thing down here. They'd have the space. Just do a little thing here, and it's like current agendas. Hate the Spanish. Current agenda, love the British. I mean, that could even be something you put money into. Like you have to put money into a propaganda campaign related to that stuff, and if you push too hard, too fast, it increases unrest. It's an idea, you know, because I really don't like. I mean, I obviously don't mind going into a menu and clicking a button. My problem is going into a menu and clicking the same button 10 times to do the same thing. Mm, roleplay wise, I actually did want to build more destroyers anyway, so I will take the GDP hit because naval budget is always juicy. Absolutely, Argentina. You can have as many torpedo boats as you want. Okay, so that didn't increase tensions as much as I wanted it to, but We're getting there. Now, I will say I don't want to get into a war with the Germans. I don't mind Austria as much. Like Spain and Austria, I can probably take them. I would like to not be at war with the Spanish, Austrians, and Germans. That would be too much unless the British want to join on my side. Like obviously not against me on my side. Um, Up to that point, um, I should be fine though. I can probably take Spain and Austria. That's just a hunch though. I don't. How many ships do they actually have? Let me check that before I. Oh yeah, like Spain's fleet, I could take them. Austria's fleet. Holy shit, that's a lot of battleships for Austria. Um, Wait a minute. Spain does not even have battleships. Okay, yeah, no, I can definitely take them then because Spain is going to be a pushover. Um, Austria would be the real threat there. I mean, Germany has fewer battleships, but my problem with Germany is that their ability to replace ships is better. Um, from my perspective anyway. Uh, they've got a larger army too, and they could actually threaten me land wise. I mean, Spain, yeah, yeah, but their logistics are worse. Um, my tech is better than theirs. Austria. I don't know. They couldn't even get to me unless Italy did something. Italy is, you know, we're fine. I don't even know how much that matters because I don't exactly understand how the army side of things works. I've played, campaigns since the army stuff was added, but it's just this game is such a black box. It doesn't explain anything to you about how it actually works. Why would I pay off the Spanish? Go fuck yourself. Okay, we are at war. Uh, I would like to save the displacement just in case. I could have sold that ship to Denmark, but I need the displacement uh, in the shipyard more than I need the money. Like right now, money is not an issue. Okay, so all of this being the case, we're going to move these. I'm going to just park them right over here. I don't actually understand how you uh, get battles in this game, so I'm just not even going to try to understand. I'm just going to, you know, throw ships into the general vicinity. I'm going to keep the Mediterranean just, here because, I mean, Austria might come in here later anyway, so I'll keep the Mediterranean, locked down or whatever. But up to that point, I'm not that worried. Um, no, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep these ships here. I'm going to put everybody on. Um, Everybody's going to be put on sea control. If they're not already. Yeah, like these guys, put them on sea control. I know that makes them more expensive, but it makes them more useful. Now, do I have anything over here? Yes, I'm going to keep those there actually. Might as well. I need to find some. Yeah, like I don't mind just leaving some torpedo boats in the islands or whatever. From a roleplay perspective, it's realistic anyway. You would obviously want to have some defenses there, even if you don't expect anything to happen. They're torpedo boats. I don't need torpedo boats. Like I'm not going to die if I don't pull torpedo boats over. And some light cruisers. I mean, well, they probably should be there. Now, do I need a freaking battleship over here? No, I don't. So I'm going to put that fleet Not the whole thing. I'm going to keep... I'll keep the torpedo boats there. I'm going to move like that over to Manila. Do I have any other colonies here? This is such a shit map. Okay, I have nothing there. I mean, I'm not clamoring to put something there, but the fact of the matter is I have nothing there. Okay. That's probably fine. Again, it's Spain does not have battleships, so I'm not that worried. Their heavy cruisers are they probably do pack a punch for what they are, but they don't have the big guns, so I can outrange them if I have a battleship in the engagement. But that means we finally actually get a freaking battle. Okay. Okay. I don't know how I wouldn't just sink all of them, but okay. I didn't even know it would generate engagements like that. I thought there was always at least a torpedo boat or something, but okay. Yeah, see, this is the kind of thing that I was worried about, but I'm not that worried about it because I still have the battleship. So, I should be fine. Assuming I can maneuver, which is always a question early on from the speed and everything. Probably the easiest way to frustrate yourself about the early years is to, what the hell is the audio doing? No, probably the weirdest way to, the easiest way to frustrate yourself with this game is go do either a quick battle set in the end year like 1950, or go finish a campaign that you played out the whole way, and then go immediately restart a campaign in 1890 and just cringe as you remember how damn slow the ships are. Okay, now some people will sit here and they will struggle to find the enemy. You don't have to do that. Set you guys to, and I don't bother with the collision avoidance thing because it doesn't work. Maybe it does, but I'm so used to it not working that it's actually. Where do you? Am I stupid? Attach. What? Oh my god. That is not what I wanted, game. Fucking detach. Jesus Christ. Okay, what am I missing here? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. The main point is everybody's following the battleship, right? So, we're in the awkward situation where these are slower than the battleship, but that's fine. The battleship is on AI control, so it will automatically go to where the enemy is, in theory. Man, that skybox is really spinning. That is actually sickening. I normally don't get motion sickness from a game, but that is really weird. Apparently they're supposed to have calm winds, like maybe the wind can calm the fuck down. I know I have it on 5x speed, but still. The fact that slowed from 10 to 5x means we're getting close. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So, now this may be controversial. A lot of people will sit here and they will try to command their ships and everything, and like sit there and micromanage them and all that stuff, and that might be better for YouTube. I'm just going to turn the game sound down because that is really loud, actually. I wish they had separate volume sliders for UI and like in-game. I mean, I actually wish they had separate volume sliders for like environmental, guns, ship sounds, because some of these sounds are way loud and some of them are not. The sound of the wind right now is way loud, even though we allegedly have calm wind. Okay, so, hell, I'm going to turn that down more. That is stupid loud. The thing about this game that is, on the one hand, frustrating, and on the other hand, fascinating to me anyway, because I'm strange, is that you can control the ships and everything, but I actually find that a lot less realistic, because you have omnipotent control over every ship and you can instantly tell ships to do things. Putting them on AI and trying to maintain formation stuff, I feel, is just a little bit more interesting, because I mean, the politics and everything is out of my hands anyway. So why wouldn't the battles be out of my hands? You know, I like spectating them. I like seeing what's going on. I will take over ships occasionally. You know, my playstyle, what I will do is I will grab, you know, a heavy cruiser or something, and I will Leroy Jenkins it up to the enemy, to brawl with them a little bit. But early on, your accuracy is so low anyway, it doesn't really matter what you do. You're not going to hit anything, even if you're right next to it. So, I have all of my ships. They are in formations and everything, and I will just see how things play out, and then I will decide what my strategy is moving forward. So this is kind of a test engagement. I would consider that a success right there. I just, you know, that guy got yoked, so there's another cruiser somewhere over there. Is this a cruiser? Yeah, that's a light cruiser. That's an interesting gun arrangement. That's something I would do. Is this the same one? Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. That's a very distinctive thing back there. Okay. So, obviously there's somebody over there. Ugh. So, there's definitely at least... I think that's just the other cruiser. I think that's another cruiser out there. Sometimes if you get it just right, you can actually click on it, because the hitbox is still there. It just doesn't illuminate where the tag is or whatever. So sometimes if you're very precise, you can actually click on ships that you can't see. It doesn't really do much because the game despawns the model, so you can't really, and you can't tell your ships where the thing is anyway. So the utility of that is not really there. Oh, there's a lot of ships over there. That's 4, I think. Maybe 5. I know this was a big engagement. I know the Spanish had a lot of ships, but they're crappy ships. So I'm not that concerned. Can I see when the ship was built, actually? That should tell me that somewhere. One thing I also tend to do is I tend to follow the enemy ships because I just want to see what they're capable of. You know, how fast their guns reload. What do they got ammo-wise? You know, the AI actually does seem to be doing better here as far as ship design goes, because even though this is a garbage ship, I mean, this is basically exactly how I would design it. You know, I do a lot of smokestacks to try and get the engine efficiency up. I do a big gun in the front. I do as many small guns as I can. Not really worried about torpedoes, but not completely negate, you know, like you want some torpedoes, but what the AI used to is they used to just really cram torpedoes onto their ships. And it was weird too because they'd try to cram as many of them in there, but then they'd just be single launchers. Like, so they have triples, but they're doing singles still. And they're just doing 5 singles, and it's ridiculous. Nobody ever built ships that way. Yeah. But I like this. These are actually this is actually nice. I mean, they're all Mark 1 guns, but still, it's actually nice. And they actually did it properly. You know, they brought a lot of AP. You know, you have these light guns, you want AP. So, it looks like they did like light ammo or whatever. Now, the one thing I disagree with here that the AI did is they did cramped quarters. I can understand it if you're doing the very lightly armored thing, but I don't know. They're already taking penalties to aiming. They have not lost that much crew. They're already taking severe penalties to aiming, which is already a problem early on. I mean, I wouldn't do spacious quarters, but I would do standard. And then bulkheads, I mean, that's the reason why the other dude sank so fast. I mean, look at this. Look, we're already taking water. We're taking a lot of water on here because we've only got standard bulkheads. So, yeah, I mean, that sank. That, you know, the other one. So the other one, okay, you know, we knocked it out because we had a nice, well-timed, well-executed salvo and everything. But this one sank. That wouldn't have happened if it had better bulkheads. Yeah. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I have a time limit here, so not in game, but in real life. So let's see if I can. I was going to say, let's see if I can chase anybody down, but it's not really chasing any. I mean, I can only go 15 knots because I'm limited by the slowest speed of these guys. So maybe. Yeah, okay, so if I just do that, if I just throw everybody onto, why am I speed limited here? Am I low on fuel? Is that still a thing? Where's my fuel? 73%. Okay. I can go, why am I only going 15? I can go 20. What the hell? Okay, we're approaching the enemy again. Why the hell did you guys smoke up? You can't even see anything yet. Fucking vapors. Okay, I'm complaining too much about this game. Let's praise something real quick. I love the water in this game. It's not as nice as the water in U-Boat, but it doesn't really need to be because you're generally not, you know, slammed up against the ship like this. You're generally like back here, and it looks great from here. I will say the wakes could be slightly better, but honestly, they look better than they are in most games. So I'm not. I mean, that's just me bitching again. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the waves and everything. I think they look nice. Again, there's room for a lot of improvement here, but this game also has terrible performance. So, for as bad as the performance is, so actually, that's a more complicated argument to make. So this game should run better for how it looks, but considering the developers don't care, it looks good for how bad it runs. So there you go. There's my compliment and an insult wrapped together. Because yeah, no, these developers do not care. At least about this game. They you know, perhaps they care about their other games, but this one they certainly do not care about. Okay, yeah, okay. So here's a tip for you. Whenever you change direction like this, that means you're too far away. Um, because we just changed direction 2 times for no reason. Um, Generally, if you can catch up with the enemy, you will just make a beeline for them when you put the thing on AI. So if you're not making a beeline in any particular direction and you're zigzagging back and forth, that means you can't find them. Or by the time you do find them, you're going to have run out of time because you do have a time limit. I've never actually run out of time during an actual battle. It's always running out of time during the pursuit. So I will consider that a fairly good start here. Now, they were only light cruisers, but I took no damage. So, um, I mean, that's a win. Does tell me I need to get more ships out there, but more importantly than that, it tells me that the ships I do have are slow as fuck. So, okay, I'm getting new boilers, I'm getting new destroyers, cruisers. I still have the ship cruiser hulls, so that's the problem. Um, that's not going to matter. That could potentially matter. I guess I'll wait until I have more Mark II guns. Like, you know, once I get some 6-inch, maybe. Because you can go up to 7 on the light cruisers. But generally, it's hard to fit 7. I mean, you can do it, and I do it a lot, but you just basically have one gun. It's better to do more 6-inch or something, unless you really want sniper light cruisers, which starts making more sense later on in the game when you can kind of run light cruisers as a replacement for destroyers. Um, but at this point in the game, it's a harder justification because your hulls are bad. And firing more, like faster firing, makes more sense than just getting the biggest gun. See, that's a more fair engagement in the sense that I love that engagement because I'm going to win. What the hell is the audio doing? It didn't used to do that where it does like the fucking Minecraft cave sounds. What the hell are you doing? Okay. I was waiting for it to start. I was waiting for like Snoop Dogg to announce himself or something. Okay. So yeah, throw that on AI. Um, you could throw all of them individually on AI. I tend not to do that because um, you do want to. I mean, you don't have to do the whole like set everybody up. You can just have every man for himself, but it's a little bit more fun when you try to make the engagements happen. I'm gonna do a breast by that on that one, by the way. Yeah. So I don't know. It'd be more fun if they actually spawned in formation, and then they, you don't have to spend the first several minutes getting everybody together. But it is what it is. So. Okay, that is a battleship, I think. That's one of the new hulls. This bitch is still super loud. See, what I'd also like to see is a dynamic compression option, Because right now you've got this super wide dynamics thing, which is great if you're playing by yourself and you don't need to narrate over it. It would be nice if there was a night option. The night option would just compress things down so you could play on a low volume but still hear everything. And that would also serve as a good option for if you're narrating and don't want to post-process your audio. Because again, wide dynamics are fantastic. I'm not saying get rid of the dynamics. I'm just saying provide a second mode that does compress the dynamics. I mean, it would be even better if you had a slider and you could slide it from 0 to 100, and 100 is full night mode, and then, you know, if you only wanted a little bit, then you could just do a little bit. But what developers tend to do is you ask them to make a change for one demographic, and then they make that the only version you can get. So people who want the night mode ask for a night mode, and then that becomes the only mode that there is, and you just lost all of the dynamic compression, and then every audio engineer cries. And everybody who's an audiophile cries. So I know that I have had that experience where the audio used to sound great, and then it gets changed, and it sounds like ass. And I do cry. I do cry. What does their heavy cruiser look like? Oh, okay, so that's an armored cruiser. Okay. Okay. I swear to God, if that thing was any fatter and any shorter, that'd be those weird, you know, Russian log flume looking monitors that they had in the like 1870s. I would love to have monitors in this game. I think river warfare could be really fun. You know, if they added smaller ships like that, I think that would also make it a bit more. I think it'd make the colonial warfare a bit more interesting, because you don't have big ships all the time in colonies. Not everybody could afford to do that. It would also make the economy with smaller nations a bit more dynamic, because like Argentina is not buying 15 battleships from France. Argentina is buying cruisers from France and torpedo boats, and they're also, I mean, you should also have reclassifications, like where old destroyers become the monitors of the next generation or whatever. You know, a lot of the battleships that you build in the early years, when refit, basically become cruisers. I also wish you could go one speed tick faster. Like right now, I feel like I should be able to go 10, and then I feel like most of the time you should be able to go 30 if there's no ships around. But I do slightly understand why they do it this way. For one, it's going to become a lag fest if you can go too fast. For two, they don't want people to miss anything, but because it already derates your speed, just make it so that when you're in visual range only, you can still go 10. Once you're at the edge of your range, you can go 5. You know, well, I guess that's kind of what they already do. I don't know. I just want to go faster. This stuff takes a lot of time, and especially early on, you're just missing every salvo. I mean, I have a what is that? That's a 0.2% chance to hit. I mean, my range only goes out to that far. Am I seriously out of HE? Huh. Okay. Okay, let's just see if anybody's around. I'm turning the formation off because I'm just hunting. Um, okay. That cruiser did not disengage like I thought they would. The rudder's not jammed because I don't see the flag, so... Okay, and we're gone again. Okay. We're just going to be popping in and out of visual range there. Until you get ships that are fast enough to actually do any hunting, you're generally just wasting your time by trying to pursue. I've heard people theoretically saying that you can just try to knock out engines or whatever, but the problem is that it just doesn't work that way. Um, Generally, if you can knock out an engine to a point that the AI can't repair it, you've already sunk that ship. Um, if you're just trying to knock out an engine so that you can pursue it, typically, if you do manage to knock out the engine, they just repair it right away. And it doesn't slow the ship down very much, and they will just infinitely repair it. But once, so you're either sinking the ship entirely, or you're letting it go. There's no, you can't cripple a ship to make it easier to pursue in this game. In real life, you probably could, but it'd still be tricky. But in this game, it just doesn't work that way because of the way they have it balanced. So, yeah. Okay. And I did accept the contract to build another battleship there, specifically because um, we're doing we're doing good. You know, we're doing well. Superman does good. We are doing well. So, yeah, how do the Austrians feel about us? Eh, they can sit and spin. How are big guns doing? Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Nothing else is going to give me a preview of what it is. Well, the internals. Bitchin'. Okay. Do I have any other ships not set to sea control? No, everything is set to sea control. Okay, cool. And crew, I've still got a decent crew pool. We're making money. I could launch new ships, but I ain't gonna. Because I don't need to. I'm saving up the money. I'm saving up the tech pool so that I can do other stuff. I'm just going to make sure that's... Sometimes you have to jiggle this slider because sometimes, especially when you're at war, when if you've gotten to 200 and it knocks it down, this position becomes 0 until you do that. So I kind of just every few turns I just do it automatically because otherwise you will end up not investing in transport capacity like you thought you were. You can tell when that happens, by the way, because this number will be faked, and if you look at your monthly balance, when you do that, it'll reset to a lower monthly balance to represent actually putting the money in as opposed to just, staying neutral on it. Just a, they may have fixed that, but it's just something that I've gotten so used to dealing with this game's bugs that it's programmed into my mind what you're supposed to do to make sure the game doesn't just fuck itself. Okay, we're gonna try to do these battles, and then I've got to go. Okay. Yeah, we'll be fine. I keep saying I need to get more ships over there, but I don't want to pull ships away from France itself because I don't want to be blockaded, and that goes by displacement. So you need to maintain a certain number of ships to keep the blockade going, or otherwise you just don't keep the blockade going. Okay, we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to not do a formation, and we're just going to throw everything onto AI like we don't care. Then, of course, throw it up to the higher speed. These are the same ships that we've been doing everything with, but I think that, yeah, so they've gone back to port, and they've gotten their ammo again, and everything's all good in the world. So, the ships won't, I mean, they're not going to run into each other, and if they do, it doesn't matter, because there's no friendly damage as far as that goes. If you hit one of your ships with one of your own shells, which can happen if you have a ship right next to the enemy and your shell misses, it can hit your ship, it will do damage. But there's no friendly collision damage. I wish that there was an engagement distance setting, because that would also vastly help the AI, because again, this is what convinces me to go Leroy Jenkins stuff, is when I'm sitting here and I'm observing the AI not even able to maintain visual range with the enemy, because they start going horizontal to get a broadside going when they have a 0.1% chance of hitting. You know, you could expend all of your ammunition and hit twice at that kind of, you know, with that kind of chances. Now, kudos to the AI. They are actually kind of pushing in, and then they're deploying smoke and retreating. So, you know, typical AI behavior right there. It's weird because your AI will generally not Leroy Jenkins. Their AI will generally not Leroy Jenkins. But what they will occasionally do is they will end up with all of their ships going to one side, and then they'll have one or two that'll go to the other side, and then that one is alone, and it gets picked off. The tactics that the AI tends to use are basically just an Angry Bees tactic, where it assumes that if it swarms everything and has everything zigzag, you know, like a herd of zebra, then that'll somehow dazzle me. And I don't know. It's usually not a very effective tactic, but it will, I mean, it will kill you if you don't know how to approach it, because when they cluster up ships like that, those will hurt. When they start sending piecemeal torpedo boats and light cruisers out, that doesn't really do a whole lot. I wish they actually had dazzle camo in this game. They don't. I don't even necessarily think it needs to do anything. I just think it would be a neat aesthetic. You know, if you could put camo on your ships, like the Japanese, they painted their ships. I don't know. Like, just have little unique markings. Just be able to paint numbers on the ships, or put their name on the sides in peacetime or something. You know, it'd be something you only see when they're in the port or whatever, and then when you're in a battle, you take the names off, but just little things like that. You know, screenshot fodder. Let's see what we're doing over here. Oh, we are a lot on fire. The game is loud as fuck. Again. How's Mr. Torpedo Boat doing? Javier Quiroga. Oh, he's not having a good day. I'm trying to actually see what the hell is on this thing. That's a very me-approved design right there. That's a lot of guns for a AI-built torpedo boat. I like that. I like my little gunboats. We're going to render this whole class of light cruiser extinct by the time we're done with this war. Ooh, he's got a torpedo hit. Okay, those guys are still over there. Yep, he's done. This one doesn't know it yet, but he's dead too because of his positioning. You got way too close to my battleship, buddy. What are you focusing on? You need to focus everything you got on this guy. See, that's the kind of thing I will take over. I will take over, like, aiming, but I don't try to steer the ships, because generally the AI, I know that I just said they don't do formations, but the enemy doesn't do formations either, so it'd almost be unfair if I tried to approach with a formation. Because you can do it. You can throw your ships into a line and everything like that. It is a pain in the ass because the game does not make it easy at all. And you can cross their T and everything like that, and the AI just kind of just dies. So it's like, oh no, I lost a light cruiser. I'm so broken up. Oh no. I don't care. I would care if I lost my heavy cruiser or my battleship. Those I would care about. I don't care about the light cruisers. They're shit. I was about to say, can you even aim the guns when you're listing that hard? Like, damn. Stop, stop, he's already dead. Okay, speed that up a little bit because those guys are over there. And I have, yeah, 0% chance of hitting them. Yeah, it's going to be another 10 years before I can hit those distances. Which, that part is realistic. I mean, you really weren't hitting anybody until you got very close to them. Yeah. No, the only thing frustrating is that the AI does not push close enough to actually do these sort of battles. Because what they should be doing is they should be trying to close the distance. You know? Okay. Well, that's the end of this episode, because I'm getting a phone call.